If what you see is all you see, then you will not see all there is to be seen. Friends, it is very easy to abandon your future, to follow the trends and to follow the crowd, and never discover your own acres of diamonds placed within you in the form of purpose, even majoring on the minor things in life. Something I discovered later on after all the damage was done. Ladies and gentlemen, in your possession, you have within you your future now. And this has been spoken of from the beginning of the time, from the author and finisher of our faith, the Creator himself. You see, the future of everything is already inside itself, friends, just as it is with fruit seeds. Now, as an example, in every seed, there's a tree that produces fruit with seeds after its kind. So you must approach life knowing that every year is already inside you, swimming in a pool of potential. Now, over the years, we have all seen the many cultural influences and changes that have shaped our world and the people who live in it. We as human beings possess unlimited potential to do great and unmeasurable things, some yet not even seen. Such things as inventing the light bulb, which came through Thomas Edison, to George Washington Carver, who created over 200 products from the peanut and the sweet potato. He gives us an in-depth meaning of what it is to go deep instead of wide in a specific area. Don't you agree? And then there's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who gave his famous I Have a Dream speech, and many other civil rights achievements that we're all benefiting from to this day. You know something? As a matter of fact, one of you who are listening to this message, you have a dream that somebody can be benefiting from. But you're so afraid to even speak about it. You're so afraid to even go after it, to plan for it, or even set in motion to get it. But it don't change the fact that it is still there. Think about it. But while you're thinking about it, consider the Wright brothers, who they themselves didn't complete their formal education, and yet still ushered in a new means of transportation, thus confirming my opening statement that you possess your future now. Ladies and gentlemen, all those who are mentioned were born under the circumstances of life in their time. Now that may and it may not be the case for some of you, but I myself, I can relate. Ricky Hill Jr., okay? Because I was raised in a single-parent home in New Orleans, Louisiana, at a time when New Orleans held the highest murder rate in this country alone. By the age of 13, I was already in the juvenile correctional system with the felony hanging over my head. I went from juvenile delinquent to high school dropout by the 11th grade with the craving for alcohol that ruined many opportunities and relationships in my life. Friends, in this life, you, me, us, all of us, we will experience many trials and tribulations and heartbreaks and setbacks. I myself have experienced near-death accidents, like a tugboat incident that took place when the boat I worked on collided with the bridge, knocking me into the Delcombe River, left me fighting for dear life. To getting over and overcoming alcoholism, getting past my turn-up phases in my youth. And then there's the accident I recently had, being ejected from my pickup truck at 80 miles an hour, driving home from work, when the truck caught a flat. I had a blowout, and it left me in very traumatic condition. Not to mention, the hospital I was receiving treatment from, they put me out the hospital the very next day because I didn't have insurance. Now, as traumatic and as painful each one of those experiences were, it was necessary for me because it guided me into personal growth. It guided me into spiritual maturity, personal resilience, things that I lacked in. But as you know, today more than ever, friends, you have everything and everyone fighting for your most precious commodities, your time and your attention. And if you're not careful, it will leave you broke, busted, and disgusted, and in a place that Tony Robbins calls in no man's land. And no man's land is a place where people find themselves who are uncomfortable and unhappy with the life that they're living and who they've become. They're always complaining, but they're not even angry enough to do anything about it. So they conform, they become complacent and remain stationary in their lives and in that state. Friends, hear me out. Today, more than ever, it is time for us to birth the Pathfinder that is within you. That's right, the Pathfinder, the real you. The you who navigates through challenging environments, paving the way for others, regardless of what anyone says or what stands in your way. The resilient, selfless, considerate inner being that tugs at you night after night, day after day, saying that you are more than what you have become. Release me from this limited prison. Tag me in, because you were born to win. You were born to succeed. The infinite within you cannot fail. Friends, hear me out. Your purpose is your future. And I wish someone sat me down and explained this to me early in life. But discovering your purpose is paramount in becoming a pathfinder. Why is that? Because you develop a mental state of boldness, courageousness, and most importantly, fearlessness, especially in the face of all kinds of adversities. You know, we all can agree that life can be challenging, it can be traumatic, and it can be unpredictable, all at the same time, truth be told. But the good news is that you were built for this. You and me. Your purpose is more powerful than the plans that you make, because purpose precedes plans, friends. And in my favorite book, The Architect of Humanity, says that before you was even conceived to make plans, I already had a purpose future for your life. So stop allowing the world to make you the reference point of who not to be like. You know, it's been proven that once people understand the purpose of something, they develop a sense of respect for it. Why is that? Because they understand its function and they comprehend it. And comprehension is key in all areas of our life. You know, we're told in all our getting to get an understanding, even if it costs us everything, our resources, our time, and our energy. You know, where there is no comprehension, misuse is present, which gives birth to destruction. And we are no different in terms of our purpose as a people, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot go through this life casually just thinking that you're going to be successful. I mean, you can try. Many have. But I can guarantee you one thing. Come Christmas time, you're going to have some very unhappy kids, and you're going to be one unhappy individual. So stop selling yourself short. Be encouraged. Do the work. Stop selling for the watered down version of yourselves. You know, I can appreciate, you and I can appreciate the quotes from Jim Rohn that says, don't work harder on your job than you do on yourself. Why is that? Because your job is temporary. It's not your work. Your work is what you were born to do. So it don't matter what's going on in your life, ladies and gentlemen. You're carrying your work with you. Your job, that's your skill. They pay you for that. And you can be fired from it as well. Trust me, I know. I've been laid off twice. And as I made mention before, you will have many unpleasant Christmases just trying to play it safe. But we were taught to play it safe. And we can also appreciate the wise words of Dr. Miles Monroe, who says, do not add to the wealth of the cemetery. How? By depositing in it all the great and wonderful gifts and talents that you came to serve to this world, friends. Your gift makes room for you in this world, not your job. Your future is not ahead of you, it's inside you, underneath which you have been conditioned and taught to believe about yourself, the world, and the people that are around you. The future that you possess now is also called greatness, which contributes to leadership. What is that? Inspiring others and motivating them. Being proactive instead of reactive. Making things happen instead of waiting on them to happen. And that contributes also to social impact. What is that? Making a positive contribution on society. How? Through environmental and people-friendly attitudes and habits. And then there's my all-time favorite, personal growth and resilience. That is helping others overcome life's challenges through positive books, your testimonies, and not making them feel like doormats. There's enough people in this world that are making others feel less than. We don't need to add to that number. When you realize that what you have in your possession is more precious than gold, It adds value to our closed loop circle of love, compassion, and empathy. To the individual, to the man or the woman who discovers his or her purpose future and refines it and serves it to the world, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a form of love. Especially if it is adding value to people's lives, enriching people's lives, and making a difference in their lives for the better. In closing, when you realize that you possess your future now, you can read the word now backwards and see that you have already won. But if what you see is all you see, then you will not see all there is to be seen. I'm Ricky Hill Jr., and this is You Possess Your Future Now.